Okay, it's time to generate a random int within the user's bounds now that I have collected the bounds. And I'm not going to read the handout to you here in this video. You can read the description of random that is in the handout there. Also, Chapter 3 has a nice bunch of examples in the exercises section about using random. So instead I'm just going to say, let's make a random number here. And to do that, I'm going to need an instance of the random class, which I'll just put up here. Have to put it somewhere up here, it doesn't matter where. Random rand equals new random. It's kind of scanner-like, and so I think that's why my mind wants me to put it up here with the scanner. Okay, so rand works a lot of the same way as the scanner. It has a next int, for example. And so if I want to generate a random int, I'm going to end up storing it in my random angle degrees variable. So let me copy that, double click to select, Command C. I know that's going to be on the left hand side of the equal sign because that's ultimately where I'm going to store this result. Okay, now I want to take rand and generate an int from it. And then in the parentheses, I'm going to put how many numbers in my set, basically. So whatever number I put in here, I get the numbers between 0 and 1 minus that number. So if I want to include the high bound in this calculation, which I do, I need to figure out how many numbers are in my set by taking the high bound, subtracting the low bound, and then adding 1 to add in that high bound, to add that back in. That will give me 0 through the number that I have, which is not exactly what I want. Once I get that random number, I need to get it into range by then adding the low bound to it. So this is my statement for generating a random int in a certain range. Once I have that int, I will convert it to radians using the formula. What is that formula? I don't do this every day. Let's have a look. Formula is, I probably should have known that. Whatever. I hope that those of you who have been taking math more recently than I did just had this in your mind. Degrees times pi divided by 180. So in previous program we have used a constant for pi, but because part of the purpose of this lab is to explore using the math class, I will say that the math class actually has a constant named pi that we can use, so we don't have to create our own. So here's my angle radians, where I'm going to be storing my result, and I'm going to take my random angle degrees, multiply it by pi, which actually exists in the math class. Yay! And then I'll divide by 180. And just because I'm paranoid, I'm going to divide by 180.0, just in case Java feels like doing something fancy with ints. I think in this case I would be set because math.pi is a decimal, but you know, better safe than sorry. Now I will calculate the tangent using math.tan. Math.tan only takes radians, so, and we'll see how I know that in a minute. But for now, I'll just say I know I'm going to need to send the radians to math.tan. Okay, I named my variable tangent. So I love copying and pasting variable names because I'm so prone to making typos. Tangent equals math.tan, and then I will pass in my radians. Double click, Command C, Command V, close up, and there we go. Okay, in the next video we'll see a little bit more about the math.tan method and how I know that it takes radians only.